inside the K-Wing locker room for our first Chaulk Talk of the season. What are you doing right now?
Just getting prepared here. I'm just trying to get some stuff done on the board. What?
It's time for the Chaulk Talk.
What? With who?
Colin Chaulk, assistant coach. Chaulk Talk.
Chaulk.
Yeah, this kind of
I thought you meant like
awkward.
I know it's a marker now, but I thought you meant Chaulk Talk.
It's not. Yeah, it's awkward. Right? Well, now that the awkwardness is over, let's meet the new assistant head coach of the Kalamazoo Wings, Colin Chaulk. And Colin, no stranger to Wing Stadium, just a little different to this side of the stadium. Talk about now the transition to assistant coach here in Kalamazoo.
Well, obviously, I'm extremely excited of the opportunity that Nick has given me here, and we're just excited to get the season going, and a lot of preparation throughout the off season here, and we're ready to get into the fun stuff.
You look at your career, a lot of years spent with the Fort Wayne Comets. You know the rivalry between the two. We'll talk about that in a second, but what's the biggest transition for you moving from a player that's been a leader on the ice to now a guy that's wearing the suit and being a leader off the ice?
Well, I think I just, Nick and I have talked a lot about it, and I think I just need to use my experiences as a player and give those back to the current guys. And, Nick, with having been away from the game a little bit, off the ice, so to speak, on the bench, using more of his experience from the coaching side now. And we're just excited to use both those qualities and put them together and give our guys the best opportunity to be successful.
What's the difference in the styles? Because obviously Nick Bootland, we look at the player, got a lot of goals, and maybe a little underrated on his defensive forward prowess. For yourself, a guy that got a lot of points, but was definitely noticed for his defensive style. Is there a lot of difference from you guys from your playing days?
Well, I mean, obviously, utmost respect for the way Nick played the game, and also his coaching career thus far has been great. I think as far as what I'll bring to the table is definitely an element of defensive hockey. Playing the right way, playing both sides of the puck, and obviously Nick and I have talked about that, and we share a lot of the same ideas, same philosophies, and we've tweaked some things, and we're just excited to get going.
I think both sides of the fan base have to be not knowing what to say. I think both, when you talk to the fans in Fort Wayne, they got to be happy that the turning the page of the career and maybe wishing it was in Fort Wayne. In Kalamazoo, it's kind of like, well, yeah, we kind of always wanted him on our side, but he's a Comet. For you, there has to be a piece of you that's always going to be part of Fort Wayne playing that long there. But getting into being a competitor like you are, it's all about winning.
Absolutely. Nick and I obviously battle against each other. When he was in Columbus and Kalamazoo, and I was in Fort Wayne, and actually talked a few times about possibly coming over here as a player when I was in Italy, and it didn't work out. I ended up being back in Fort Wayne, and we talked a few times over the last couple of years about coming over and coaching, and here I am. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the I believe it's 14 times. We definitely have those highlighted on the schedule when we play the Comets, and I'm sure they do on the flip side. So we're excited to compete. We're excited to prepare our guys, and we believe that we're going to be successful on the other side.
When you look at that, there was a couple times, like you mentioned, that you thought about coming here. A couple times on the coaching side. Why now? I know obviously the injuries last year. What was it when you said it's time to kind of fade to a new portion of your career?
Sure, great question. Obviously, the injury really took playing out of the equation, so to speak, and I guess it was nice mentally because I really didn't have to have that weighing on me, so to speak. So I was really ready mentally to move on that way. And Nick called me in the springtime, and it was kind of a short conversation. What are you doing? Are you coaching there? And kind of wasn't sure. And every time we talked, it was 10-minute conversation turned into a 40-minute conversation, and then an interview and lunch turned into a couple hours, and then next thing you know, we're talking about strategies and this and that, and then we're talking contracts. So I felt like we were compatible, and obviously he felt the same. And you need that when you're a coach. It's almost like your line mates. You're together all the time, and almost more than with your wife. So as bad as that's going to sound, but we've hit it off great, and I'm excited to build that relationship with him.
Now, later in the season when you were out of the lineup in Fort Wayne, being the broadcaster, obviously we're up 90 floors at the Coliseum. You're in the press box as well, and you could tell, like, you're kind of peeking over. Colin Chaulk's kind of coaching from the press box in essence. When did you decide that whenever your hockey career was done that you wanted to be in coaching?
I think I always, with running my own hockey school for the last 10, 12 years, I've been, loving the developmental side, but, to really make the switch or really strive to be a coach, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time, and it's something you really need to be focused on. And I would say probably really did it for me was when I came back from Italy. Our team was out of the playoffs. We were first year at the Central League. I think we were in 9th place, and I was really able to be a big impact and just changing the culture and the attitude. It wasn't the on-ice performance that I had because I really didn't put up a lot of numbers, but I was really instrumental in just helping the guys play together. And I think for myself really flipped the switch by saying, I think I can really do this. I really believe that I can make a difference and get guys to play together. And I guess that was around, I think, 2010, where I was really like, I need to get off the ice and on the bench, and I need to figure out how I can do that.
Veterans normally sit at the back of the bus. It's going to have been probably quite a few years since you moved to the front. Is that going to be the biggest change in your coaching career?
Well, I would say, I guess the veteran guys, they would be at the back, but, I guess once family comes and kids arrive and that kind of stuff, your late card games at the bus end a little earlier. So, those like I said, those late nights and then movies and whatever else are somewhat in the past, and I'm definitely excited for the next chapter.
Now your movies are the game film from the night that you just finished, so it's a little different. Hopefully happier films than bad films as the season goes on. When you're looking at what you guys have recruited here, you have to be very excited about the guys that you're going to be seeing in this room.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously, like you said, we're extremely excited. We're going to have a competitive camp. We have some guys in the American League that are up on tryouts, and we're going to get some guys sent down. And we're at the point now that we've prepared. We need players in here so we can get going and get to the fun stuff, as Nick says, and the systems and teams and drills and planning and correction and adjustment and all that kind of stuff and teaching. And we're just ready to get going.
How much have you seen of, obviously, Kalamazoo? You've seen to the bus and back in your past career. How much have you got a chance to see from Kalamazoo, and what do you think of the city so far?
City seems great. I mean, we've been downtown a few times. I haven't checked out Bell's, but I heard lots of great things about it. So far the best part of the trip is Tim Hortons on 94. I definitely hit that on the way in and the way out, and I'm doing my damnedest to try and get Booter to take the large double-double, but he keeps resisting the coffee, which as a coach, I just don't know how he does it, but he seems to have had some success, so maybe we'll let him keep staying in his ways.
Talk about your first time going into the Coliseum. We're going to play him in preseason in the Annex, but how difficult is it going to be to walk through the visiting side and maybe not try to make the long turnaround to the home side?
It will be fine. I mean, I'm excited about it. I left Fort Wayne 2 times to go play in Italy, and definitely it will be exciting. It will be fun. It will be great to compete. I can tell you one thing: our boys will be ready and they'll be well prepared, and I'll do what I can on my end to make sure that they're well versed and ready to go.
New assistant coach of your Kalamazoo Wings, Colin Chaulk, getting more than comfortable here in the Kalamazoo red, white, and blue. Plenty of times to take on the Fort Wayne Comets, but more importantly for the Kalamazoo Wings, camp is less than 3 weeks away, and we'll get a chance right away to see how the K-Wings still survive, quote-unquote, boot camp. More for information about your Kalamazoo Wings, catch up to them right here on kwings.com, of course, the Facebook as well as Twitter and youtube.com.